Welcome to Is That Homeopathy, where ancient wisdom meets modern healing. We're here to demystify homeopathy and share practical, heart-centered insights for your holistic journey. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Is That Homeopathy? If you are just getting into homeopathy and wondering where do I even start with all of these books, you are not alone.
On today's episode, we are going to break down some of the foundational books that we recommend for any home user who wants to start using homeopathy with more confidence and accuracy.
So, whether you are treating fevers at 2 a.m. or you just want to better understand how remedies actually work, these books will help guide you.
So let's start with the main foundational text, um, The Organon of Medicine by Samuel Hahnemann. But not just any edition. We recommend the one that's edited by Wenda Brewster O'Reilly. And my copy is blue, but Ashley informed me that hers is green. So just be aware that it might look different depending on that. But as long as she's the one that has edited it, it's going to be a good edition. I think mine's the sixth edition. So this is a little bit more approachable, annotated, and honestly, it's a game changer if you're intimidated by 19th century writing. The Organon is the philosophical backbone of homeopathy. So this is where you're going to see all of Hahnemann's um, philosophy, his idea, his thoughts on health, disease, and how healing really happens. This particular edition gives it some modern language, historical context. It's has a really helpful layout if you actually want to read it and keep referring back to it. So this is something that I come back to all the time, and it's definitely the foundational book that you want to have in your library.
So, if the organon is the why, then the how is Miranda Castro's handbook. So this is the Complete Homeopathy Handbook. And it's a book that we honestly recommend to every beginner. It walks you through how to basically apply the principles that are outlined in the organon. So, how to observe the symptoms, how to select a remedy, how to safely use homeopathy at home. The book itself is very clearly written, it's very practical, and it's organized by condition.
Mm-hmm.
So organized by fevers, by teething, by injuries. And Miranda Castro even includes potency and dosing tips in the book as well. So if you need a book to walk you through symptoms in real times, then this is the book that we recommend for that.
Yes, that was actually my first book. And it's funny, I was thinking how they say arnica is like the gateway remedy to homeopathy. I feel like Miranda Castro's book's kind of the gateway book
Yes,
that
mine
most of
too.
us, yeah, start out with. So it's a really good one to have in your library. Another one that is probably pretty comparable to Miranda Castro's, but I have found that when people are a little confused by maybe her layout, that when I suggest this one, somehow it has really helped um, some people. It just sort of click for some people. So this one is sometimes overlooked, but it is really, really great for beginners. What makes it special is that it blends remedy profiles with everyday application. It's a little less dense than some of the other Materia Medicas, but very insightful. It gives you the feel and personality of each remedy without overwhelming us with pages of detail, and I absolutely resort back to this one all the time. It's very organized in a way that helps us learn the core traits of a remedy. So we're not just looking up the symptoms, we're actually getting to know the remedies better. And I really love how it might give you some suggestions, but also sort of helps educate on modalities of like introducing like what makes it better or worse. And so it's been really helpful for some of my friends who were struggling. So I'm going to recommend it here today.
Yeah, so speaking of Materia Medica, the next on our list is the Boericke's Materia Medica, and we recommend this one to pair with the Repertory. This version of the Materia Medica gives you very clean and clear remedy descriptions. So when you want to reference and understand what the remedy picture is, you would reach for the Materia Medica. It helps you feel the remedy or understand the remedy as a friend. What makes it better, what makes it worse, how the remedy may present emotionally or physically. And this book is great because it's deep enough to grow with you, so you'll get it as a beginner, and it's easy and accessible enough as a beginner to understand. But it's also something that, as you continue your journey, it will grow with you too.
Absolutely. So the next book that we're going to recommend is Cancer Repertory, a classic and powerful tool, and one that you will consult all the time when doing your remedy selection. So the repertory helps us match symptoms precisely by location, sensation, modality, and more. It takes a little bit of learning to work with it, but it teaches you how to think like a homeopath and not just pick remedies from a chart. So, when you're ready to go beyond the basics, Kemp's repertory is going to be absolutely vital with sharpening your skills. And when paired with the Materia Medica, this will help you feel so much more confident in your remedy choices. So, definitely want to keep the repertory and a Materia Medica on hand.
So, the last book that we want to touch on today, we actually don't have a physical copy of, but it is Homeopathy Basics by Priscilla Metters. And that book is a very, very good book if you are an absolute beginner and you're either, moving on into home use or you're starting out utilizing or working with a professional homeopath. It's a very good book for understanding the foundational aspects of homeopathy, a lot of which we cover on this channel. A lot of the things we cover on this channel are also found in that book, and it's a very quick read as well. I think
Mm-hmm.
it is only like 40 or so pages, but Priscilla has done a really good job with condensing a very complicated subject
Mm-hmm.
into a very easy to understand and easily accessible way to understand in a little booklet.
Yeah, it's great for not only if you want to become a homeopath one day or do, taking your own at-home cases, but even to be a good like client for a homeopath because it kind of educates you on what they're looking for and you'll know more about like when I need to contact them, what I need to tell them, this is important information. So I feel like it actually makes you like better overall as far as being like even a client to a homeopath, and understanding why they're asking you certain questions that might sound a little funny. Um, so it was a really great read for me too before I went into having like more of a constitutional assessment.
Yeah.
So we might suggest that you start with Miranda Castro's book or start introducing yourself to the Organon. And once you feel really grounded in those books, maybe you can start introducing yourself to the Repertory or the Materia Medica, which is really going to take things to the next level. It is a little more complex. It takes a little bit more focus. But once you really are able to read these books and understand these perspectives, then your confidence is just going to take off, and you're going to really understand the whys, the hows, the whens of homeopathy. So when to
Yeah,
treat, when
and
not to
remember
treat.
too, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? You
Right.
don't have to master them all at once. Pick one book
Mm-hmm.
and get really curious about it and let it just grow from there.
Right. So let us know in the comments which of these books that you might have or which ones that you plan on reading in the future.
And subscribe because we have more great content that we are so excited to share with you coming in the future.
Thank you all for listening. See you next time on Is That
Yeah.
Homeopathy?
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Is That Homeopathy? where ancient wisdom meets modern insight. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might be curious too. If you have any questions or topics you'd like for us to explore, drop them in the comments. We're here to keep the conversation flowing. Until next time, stay curious, stay balanced, and remember, healing begins with awareness.